end time.
Are you excited?
Very.
About?
Everything. The show, the contest.
Oh, well, let's see who's gonna win. What's the first question?
The first question comes from Andreas and Eleni.
Okay.
What inspired the idea for this stage play?
Wow. So 2 years ago, I met with Angeliki Dimitropoulou. I'm pretty sure that's how you say her last name. I just know her as Angeliki, that's how we all know her. And we were at my kubara's house on the balcony, and we started talking about different things that happen in Greece that not a lot of people know about. And there was this one party specifically that she brought up that happens during Patrino Carnavali, and it was the Bourboula. And I suggest for anybody that does not know what the Bourboula are to definitely go home, check out Google, and find out what it's all about, because it blew my mind away that this was happening and people were unaware of it. And from that, I built an entire story around that party, and that's what the show is based on.
Great, can't wait to see it. Christine is asking, what will the audience be thinking about in the car as they drive home after the show?
That's a really good question. Well, I think they're going to be thinking about love. They're definitely going to be thinking about sex. And they're really going to be able to take a part of the show with them. Part of the show is based off the poetry of a Greek poet. Her name is Erofili Gerasimidou, and her book that will be actually released in November in its North American release will be sold at the show. So what's important to know is that you can take part of the show home with you and you can analyze it and study it further. So the book will be for sale during intermission and after every show, and I think they'll be thinking about quite a bit more, not just in the car ride home, but for days to come after, maybe months.
This question comes from Maria. What was the most difficult decision you had to make, and how did you handle it?
This was probably a question better for my producer, because he's had to make all the difficult decisions and I just stand somewhere and yell my head off. Eliseo Kirilou has been producing the show from start to finish, and for once, because of my demanding schedule outside, I haven't really had much involvement in it. We have a phenomenal production manager, and that is you. So that question would probably be best suited for you guys. I know that it's been difficult in many aspects. One thing that I find difficult every year is how I'm going to stage it, because I like to stage things in a cinematic style. And what I wanted to do this year was strip away all the expectation. So people after watching last year's show are expecting a big, magnanimous, glamorous set. And I had to find creative ways of bringing it back down to the acting and the art and the raw emotions. So we're stripping everything right down to the bare minimums. And I wanted to just deliver feeling. To do so though, it requires really strong actors. And the one thing that we always lack here is acting as far as Greeks are concerned, because we're acting in Greek. I can tell you that this cast is, I don't even know, I can't, from right down to the people that don't speak anything, to the people that have most lines, to my lead actress, Stella is just, I was gonna call her Stella Ikonomopoulou, my gosh, I'm sorry. Stella Mastrogiannakou, Stella Ikonomopoulou Makus, I miss you. Stella Mastrogiannakou is mind-blowingly good. She's young, she's a fresh face. We've seen her in Epilogi, and you're going to see her in a way that you've never seen her. You're watching a young woman mature on stage over the course of 2 hours. It's literally brilliant.
I'm sure everyone's excited to see the show.
I'm excited to get it on stage.
Hey George, I have some questions.
Uh-oh.
What happens if someone doesn't speak Greek? Can they still come see the show?
No.
No. No.
No, of course they can, Irene. That's a question we get asked more often than we thought. So what we've done is, and we've said this every year, if someone does not speak Greek and they want to come see the show, will they understand is a question we get. And I always answer with, well, when you go see an Italian opera, do you speak Italian? you understand by the tone, by the music, by the feeling, by the body language, you'll be able to follow the story. That's one. The second thing we always do, that I've always said, if somebody is non-speaking English and they email us at 10toneproductions@gmail.com, that I will, as the director, go in at 7 p.m. and give them a synopsis of the story, 15 minutes from 7 to 7:15, that they can come meet with the director. It has to be prearranged before, and we will give them a synopsis of the story so that they can follow along without having to speak the language.
That's great. How can they arrange that?
Again, through email, just 10toneproductions@gmail.com, and they can just let us know after they bought and purchased for their tickets.
Sounds good. Different angle. What's your favorite thing about acting?
My favorite thing about acting, it has to do with depth. I think you have to go deep, dive deep into someone else's life, understand the way they speak, understand their mannerisms, their body language, why they make the choices that you wouldn't necessarily make. And somewhere in that, you have to find something relatable to you. Whether it's sorrow or pain or happiness or love or hate, or you gotta find something that's relatable to you so that you can find a point to express through you someone else. It's kind of fun. I'll tell you though that writing a show and watching it come to life is way more gratifying than acting.
That was my next question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this year I'm in the show. Last year I stepped out of the show. There wasn't really a part for me, and it was a complicated show last year that required me to oversee things in a different manner. This year, due to some specific scenes in the show, we decided that I should be a part of it. And it's a whole different animal being inside and trying to create it rather than being outside. You know, one is almost taking like a fathering role where you watch your baby on stage and it becomes a grown adult in the course of 2 hours. And this one, you're kind of living their life, and you want to step out of your own body and sit in the audience and watch it. I find that the hardest part about this process is that I'm jealous of the audience that gets to see it.
I agree. So am I.
Because you're backstage, too, right?
My last question. Would you change anything in the process so far?
Of this year?
This year.
Or the specific show? Would I change anything? No. No, I honestly wish, and I wish this with every single show, I wish I had more time. And it's never enough. And I wish that we had an audience that would sell this show out and it was up every day for a month. Not for me, because I've lived it for the last year. It takes us a whole year to do this, whether it starts from the writing, the editing, conceptualization, and then designing and blah, 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 blah. And I could go on forever, but if the audience knew how much work goes into every show, and if they knew how much these actors give of themselves, because they're not professional actors, they're amateurs, and they're learning on the spot as they go. But if they really saw how much work they put in and how much time they sacrifice, and time away from kids and family and home and sports, and it's one of their hobbies, but it's a lot of work. If they could honestly witness and understand the scope of how much time they put into this, the one thing I would change is that we could run the show for a month or 2 months every single weekend and it would be sold out. I wish we had the audience for it, and I hope that every year we'll build more. This is going to be the longest run we've had, and I hope that we can say it's sold out again, but not so for us. Again, for the cast, they deserve it. They deserve the applause of people. You know, mine aren't enough. I praise them every week, but people need to applaud them really loud when they come to see them.
I'm sure they will after this amazing show.
Thanks, Irene. Well, let's recap. We want everybody to come to the show.
We do.
Premiering on Thursday, November 22nd at the Alumni Theater, 70 Berkeley Street. 70 or 77? 70 Berkeley Street. Alumni Theater, we're there every year so far, 3 years in a row. We are closing the trilogy of my 3 shows about my 3 incredible women. We had Epilogi in 2016, we have Dona Mamu Neva in 2017, and this year we have ΟΙ ΕΡΩΣΥΛΙΕΣ. I can't wait for people to be there. Call to book your tickets. Go online. It's the easiest way. www.tentoneproductions.com. If you have any questions, if you want a different way of booking them, if you want to reach out to us for any sort of thing that you'd like to know, do it by email. We communicate with everyone. So tentoneproductions@gmail.com. Again, that's tentoneproductions with an S @gmail.com. Thank you for taking the time to submit your questions. And I will be announcing the winner of this contest on agapegreekradio.com all week next week. My show, The George Scandalis Show, original titling. The George Scandalis Show airs every day from 8 p.m. to midnight, and I will be announcing the winner of this contest there. They'll have 2 free tickets to our opening night.
It's exciting.
You're exciting.
So are you?